Hello and welcome to HITC Sports. Right, the Champions League is reaching its conclusion, with the one game shootout proving much more exciting. We've seen lots of drama, and we'll also have a new team in the final with PSG set to take on RB Leipzig in one of the semis. The Red Bull side's meteoric rise has been incredible, so today we're going to look at every Champions League competition from 2004 onwards and pick out each year's biggest overachievers. 2004 Porto. This was around the time I was just getting properly into football, and I can vividly remember thinking what the hell is going on during this tournament. The big teams didn't come to play in 2004, instead being gazumped by three minnows who intended to go all the way. You had Deportivo get to the semi after an incredible comeback win over holders AC Milan, then the two sides in the final were Monaco and Porto. But it was a young Jose Mourinho who prospered, defying the odds, beating Man United on the way and winning back-to-back European trophies. This is when Mourinho was the special one, young in the face, those dark locks flowing in the wind. Now he's just a grumpy old bloke who's probably dreading the release of Tottenham's Amazon special. 2005 Liverpool. The Reds are one of the best teams ever in terms of the European Cup, winning it 6 times after beating Tottenham last summer. But in 2005 there's no way they should have won it. It was Rafa Benitez's first year and his team was a who's who of averageness and disappointment. Oh, and Steven Gerrard. I mean, they were so average they didn't even finish in the top 4 in the Prem. But Benitez's squad did the impossible in reaching the final, then they had to come from 3 down against one of the best teams I've ever seen. Kaka, Pirlo, Nesta, Maldini, Shevchenko. This was like the Monsters playing against Bugs Bunny's team in Space Jam. But Liverpool amazingly won it against the odds, and then Milan Baros went and dropped the bloody cup. The bloke didn't even know what to do with silverware. Well, before we continue, quick plug for the Total Sport podcast I was on the other week, as well as the Irish guy and Alfie from HITC 7s. They're doing some great stuff over there, and you can see interviews with all the HITC crew. Maybe you'll find out some things you didn't even know about the 3 of us. Anyway, back to the day. 2006 Arsenal. For a club the size of Arsenal, it's mad that 2006 is their only ever European Cup final. Of course they didn't win it after losing to Barcelona, but Arsene Wenger's side deserve huge credit for their journey. They would beat Real Madrid, Juventus and then Villarreal before falling at the final hurdle against Barcelona. But I'll never forget that amazing goal Henry scored at the Bernabeu, mainly because goal 2 totally stole it. Go on Santiago lad. 2007 Copenhagen. You didn't miss anything 13 years ago. Copenhagen didn't win the Champions League, but they did do something kinda special. The side that almost knocked Man United out the Europa League last week, okay they just played against them, the keeper was really good, made their proper Champions League debut, qualifying for the group stage for the first time in their history back in 2006. And despite being their first time and coming bottom of the group, the Danes didn't disgrace themselves at all. They got 7 points despite being 4th, just 2 points away from reaching the knockouts. If Carlsberg did Champions League debuts, it would probably be worse than this as it absolutely tastes the piss. 2008 Celtic. The 2008 Champions League is famous for the All-English final that saw a towering Cristiano Ronaldo header and a John Terry slip that brought tears of laughter to the entire nation. I mean, what a picture. Slipping on his arse, costing his team, absolutely drenched in Russian rain. It's no wonder he gave it 10 out when they won it in 2012 and he didn't play. But the overachievers of this Champions League were Celtic, who reached the knockout stages then gave a great account of themselves against Barcelona in the round of 16. Okay, 2008 wasn't really the year of the underdog. 2009 Chelsea. Okay, so in 2009 there weren't really any overachievers either. Zenit and Cluj competed in the competition for the first time but came bottom of the groups, and I'll also give a special shout out to Panathinaikos who almost made it into the quarters. But as overachievers I'll go with semi-finalist Chelsea, who lost to Barca on away goals in the final 4 despite a lot going on behind the scenes. They limped through the group stages under Scolari who then got the sack, meaning it was down to Gus Hiddink to get the job done. He very nearly did, but in the words of Didier Drogba, it's a disgrace. They were robbed in that semi, proper robbed. I don't think anyone can blame Drogba for that mental reaction. 2010 Bordeaux. When someone says Bordeaux to me, I just think of wine. But if things had gone differently in 2010, I'd probably think of the Champions League. The French side had an incredible journey that started by coming top of a group that also included Bayern Munich and Juventus, 2 of the biggest teams in the world. But Bordeaux would topple them, then knocked out Olympiacos to reach the quarters, where they had an all-French affair. Lyon crept through 3-2 on aggregate, meaning it was them who would meet Bayern in the semis, a team who Bordeaux knew how to beat. I'm not really sure how they did it. Their team included ex-Newcastle players Johan Griffin and Henri Saivet, as well as Arsenal flop and greasy hair enthusiast Marouane Chamakh. I've just realised I've called Henri Saivet an ex-Newcastle player. Christ, he's still actually there. 2011 Schalke. If it wasn't for Schalke reaching the semis, this would have gone to Tottenham, as this was the year that Gareth Bale literally murdered Maicon in the group stages. Then they got battered themselves by Real Madrid in the quarters. Schalke got further than that, and their journey was even more impressive when you consider what they were doing back in Germany. They would actually finish 14th in the Bundesliga, but in the Champions League they nearly made it to the final. They had an amazing team led by Real Madrid legend Raul, sadly though they got absolutely battered by Man United in the semis. 2012 Chelsea. This is one of the most iconic Champions League wins ever. Everything about it's dramatic. They nearly didn't make it out of the groups, then they needed extra time to beat Napoli. Benfica was tight, then the semi versus Barcelona was one of the maddest things I've ever seen. John Terry getting sent off, that amazing chip by Ramirez, Torres running the length of the pitch and making Gary Neville make noise that even his wife can't do. Ivanovic being told he missed the final by the evil Jeff Shreves, playing Munich in Munich with a depleted squad, Ryan Burton playing left wing, Roberto Di Matteo as manager, coming from behind, winning it on penalties with Didier Drogba sinking the winner, then suspended John Terry going full kit wanker to lift the trophy. Absolutely iconic. 2013 Malaga. For a brief moment in time, Malaga were really good, mainly because they had money. The 2012-13 campaign was their first ever foray into the Champions League, and it was also nearly very special. They got through the groups, beat Porto in the round of 16, they were minutes away from beating Dortmund in the quarters. However, 2 stoppage time goals eliminated the overachieving Spaniards, who were then banned the following year because of their debt and have never played in Europe since. 2014 Atletico Madrid. I'll be honest, this is one of the hardest years to pick, and choosing Atletico sounds a bit stupid, but hear me out. The quarterfinals were just a who's who of European giants, with no real minnows getting far. But this was a golden time for Atletico Madrid, who achieved so much despite the odds being stacked against them. Firstly, they were Spain's 3rd biggest club, all the while they went on to win the title on the final day against Barcelona. And at the same time, they were gunning for the Champions League too. They beat AC Milan, Barcelona and Chelsea en route to the final, then lost to rivals Real Madrid in extra time. This was very nearly a legendary Atletico Madrid team, but sadly they blew it in the final. 2015 Monaco. It's been a while since we mentioned Monaco, but they were back in 2015 to remind everyone what they can do in the Champions League. This was the first time in the competition for 10 years, and they very nearly reached the semis, only to lose 1-0 to Juventus in the quarters after dramatically knocking out Arsenal. But this was the start of a great era for Monaco, boasting some of Europe's best young talent, but more on that in a moment. 2016 Gent. While Belgium have got some of the best players in the world right now, they rarely produce great clubs. But in 2016, Gent certainly made their mark in the Champions League. This was the first time they'd ever competed in the group stage, and they managed to get out of it ahead of Valencia and Lyon, 2 fairly decent teams if I do say so myself. Sadly for Gent, they were knocked out in the round of 16 by Wolfsburg, drawing a halt at the elusive Gent bus that Max Rushton of Soccer AM coined all those years ago. Oh bollocks, it was the Genk bus, wasn't it? That was a totally different team. 2017 Monaco. While Monaco made it at the quarters in 2015, they went one better a year later, with a chance to avenge their Juventus defeat of 2 years ago and reach the final like they did in 2004. They got beat, never mind. This season put Monaco properly back on the map. They had Mbappe doing bits, Falcao getting back to his best, they beat Man City and Dortmund. They were one of the funnest teams to watch in Europe, and sadly their success resulted in a squad being ripped apart by the vultures of Europe's elite. 2018 Qarabag. Okay, who can tell us some facts about Azerbaijan? Hands down if you're actually from there, that's cheating. Well, here's one for you. In 2017, Qarabag became the first team from Azerbaijan to play in the Champions League group stage, with a name that sounds too much like a carrier bag. They were more like a ratty herring bag than a bag for life though, coming bottom of a really tough group that included Chelsea, Roma and Atletico. But hey, at least they got there. Well done Qarabag. 2019 Ajax. 12 months ago, everyone was talking about Ajax. Actually, it was longer than 12 months, wasn't it? This season's been mad. But anyway, last season the Champions League was littered with stories. Liverpool winning their first trophy under Jurgen Klopp, Tottenham getting the final, incredible comebacks, but the real feel-good story was Ajax. First they went unbeaten in a group that included Bayern Munich, then they absolutely wiped the floor with Real Madrid. After that they knocked out Italian giants Juventus, meaning all they had to do was beat little old Tottenham to reach the final. Then Lucas Moura scored a hat-trick and ruined it all. But this team really put Ajax back into the conversation and reminded everyone how good they are producing wonderful footballers. 2020 RB Leipzig. And we end things with the current Champions League campaign, and one that has already been historic for RB Leipzig. They only came into existence in 2009, 11 years on they've got a Champions League semi-final date with PSG. Sure, they're owned by Red Bull and all the controversy that surrounds that, but the heart dislike on the football pitch. Nagelsmann's team play incredible football, and beating a team like Atletico in a one-off game was pretty magical. So everyone, crack open a tin of Red Bull, let's raise a glass to RB Leipzig. So there we have it, that's every year's overachievers in the Champions League since 2004. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to HITC Sports. And until next time, we'll see you around.